Hello, boozers, and welcome to the next installment of Booze Chatter. Well, it's not exactly. What can I say? I'm not exactly doing a booze reviews type thing right now. But that being said, I am here in my studio. I just wanted to talk with you guys for a bit. In fact, gotta pour myself something to drink. Away we go. Oh, um, yeah, non-alcoholic. I'm still working right now. I fortunately don't get a chance to drink because I'm at work. So, I'm gonna have a nice little thing called Aha, and it's a sparkling water beverage, and it's peach and honey. I discovered this the other day, and actually, it's not a bad little thing. I don't mind this. It's actually kind of nice. So, cheers. No day drinking for this guy right now. Uh, all right. Where are we here? I wanted to check in to see how you guys were doing, how you were holding up, and how you, as a collective, were feeling. Hey, PA Brew News, how you doing? And yes, it's West Coast Nick. I want to see exactly how you're coping with things. For me personally, I'm having my days. I don't mind being socially isolated, but when I go out, I don't see a lot of people around. There's not a lot of I mean, I do see people, and some of them are not socially distancing. Um, you just you get that feeling that everyone's starting to really not like what's going on, and I don't blame anybody for that. That's something that we are all having issues with. Uh, I personally have been trying to bypass a lot of my emotional downtroddens by listening to music or if I go out to work, I drive directly from home to work. Yeah, I'm still an essential service, so I still have to drive to work. Um, and I listen to music and I blare my tunes and everything else like that. Of course, I see idiots on the road that are driving 120 kilometers in a construction zone or anything else because they feel that they can do this now. It's good. They're able to do this. No one's going to catch them. So it kind of pisses me off the fact that some people are using this to their advantage, but at the same point in time, abusing it too. I personally don't mind being isolated. I do go a little stir crazy now and then. It happens. And I understand that there's a lot of things going on. Um, oh, so I'm just going to read off one of the comments here from Paul. I'm forced to work 70 hours a week. I would love to be socially isolated right now, but I can't. I haven't seen my kids in almost 2 weeks because they're quarantined with my ex-wife, so it's not good. It's kind of business as usual. It's not that bad, and it is what it is when you make the best of what you got. This is so true. This is so very true. And a lot of people are trying to make the best of what they got, and I feel for you for having to not be able to see your kids. Um, my youngest was with us for 2 weeks because my ex-wife's parents uh, were in contact with someone that had COVIDs, and they also were taking care of my daughter at the same time. So when she came back, we found this out. So it was an immediate 2 week quarantine in my place. Hello, Vanessa Kitty, and it was rough. Like I feel bad for my daughter because she didn't get a chance to go back and see her sister or her brother or her mom and everything else like that. But at the same point in time, it was good for everybody to do what we had to do. Um, I was quarantined as well or isolated as well because of the fact that this happened. So I had to work from home for 2 weeks. Not bad, but I don't like working from home all that much. I do and I don't. Like I love the fact that I can work from home, but I try not to get distracted, which I do. working down at my job, I don't get as distracted and I'm focused because there's nobody there. I can actually focus on things. So, fortunately, going back to the comments here, Paul says, fortunately, as always have a demographic of people that abuse the system and abuse privileges and abuse their rights when people aren't looking. This is very true. Um, I had someone, I was driving and I was driving my normal speed. Guy got in my, tried to get in my way and I was blocked him in by mistake, purpose, whatever. Because the guy went 90 in his construction zone. So, slow him down a little bit. And even though I shouldn't be doing that, but when he passed me, he did give me the one finger salute, which was, whatever. I gave him a metal salute and continued on my way. So, while playing Lamb of God really loudly out my window, just to let him know that I don't give a fuck. So I did not sign a new school contract for a year. Perhaps it was fate that I did not, says Vanessa Kitty. Possibly, possibly. Um, we're all going through this differently. We just actually found out that my oldest will not be having a graduation ceremony this year. So that was kind of rough on me. It wasn't rough on her. She was like, I'm okay with this. I was like, but you're my firstborn and it wanted to see you graduate. I was looking forward to 2020, May, June 2020 to see you graduate. And, you had that build up for 18 years. And then to find out that you're not going to be able to see them graduate kind of sucks. Tell them next time to wave all your fingers at you. They were in a big power truck, I'm living in Alberta, big power, small. Anyways, but it's it's been interesting around here. I'm the only one that really goes out in this household because of the fact that I do go out to work. Um, my wife and my daughter don't. Um, yes. So Shibby's in here. Hello, Shibby, by the way. I haven't similarly I haven't been able to see my mom in several weeks because she's an ICU nurse. That sucks. Well, it's good that she's it's great that she's an ICU nurse. Thank you for everything that she does. It sucks that you don't get to see her. So, this is harder right now because she hasn't been able to see her newest grandchild since the birth in January. Oh, that hurts. Uh, you know, and that's one point I'm going to bring up. Social media and computers and technology has a way you may not be able to physically see them, but I mean there's stuff like video chats and whatnot, just not Zoom. Don't ever use Zoom or TikTok. That basically you can actually share that kind of stuff with. Hence why I'm on here with you guys. Technically, as PA Bruno says, technically they graduated, so that's good. And yes, technically she did graduate, and I do agree with that. It was one of those ones where we're all getting excited for her to be dressed up, to get that diploma, to go across that stage. Um, I know that feeling because it was many, many decades ago. It's starting to fade a little bit more because it's that long ago, at the age of dinosaurs. And I remember going across that stage, and it was one of the best moments of my life. Um, Something I'll never forget. So I mean, there's not saying that there won't be a virtual graduation or something like that. So it's it's one of those things that you do have, but it still technically sucks badly. Uh, yeah. Um, and a lot of us are feeling the pinch, and it really, really, really sucks that we're feeling this pinch. But there's nothing we can do except try to accept it. I'm getting honestly tired of seeing all the news on Facebook, Twitter, everything else like that that condones people from doing things or doesn't allow them to do this or has that, and it's as I put in one of my posts, the conspiracy theorists are having a field day with this. they've been so quiet as of late, and all of a sudden, boom, they've got this, and my God, they've come out in droves. So I'm just trying to take it one day at a time, like the rest of you. And I know that it's not easy, and I know that a lot of you have probably the same style as we do. We'll go out and go online, play games with friends, and do this, that, and just sort of go chat like I'm doing right now, spend some time, and then afterwards I'm going back to work to sit down on my couch and plug away at helping people with their computers. Um, so back to the comments here. We did FaceTime with her a week ago. So should be saying about the FaceTime with her, his mom. Her, wow. Again, not drinking, sober. Uh, Vanessa Kitty, we came over to Llama Farm to visit owner. They too cooped up at home. That yeah, being cooped up home is really not easy. PA Brew News. I live in the middle of nowhere. I would love to be home 24/7 away from people, but ironically, I have to be in the middle of everything and deal with it. So many people. It's stupid. Deal with so many people. It's stupid. Yeah, yeah, I feel bad for you, man. I really do. Because there's probably like down in the States, you guys like Shibby, PA, Vanessa, I don't know if you're down in the States or not, but I fear for you guys down there. My cousins are down there and I feel for them too. Because there's a lot of people out there that aren't paying attention. They're coming out of it angry and bitter, and all of a sudden they're gathering in masses and whatnot. Not saying that's not happening here, because it is. It is happening here. We're finding that people are more and more getting inclined to do this kind of stuff too. And it's like, don't, really don't. Like, we're trying to get this slowed down, not speed up and have it just all come to a crashing halt. It's not going to happen that way. Um, So yeah, with to go back to the comics here, you guys are keeping me busy on this. Right on. I like this. I live in the or you dealt with that one, Shibby, and the biggest conspiracy theorist is the White House. Unfortunately, yes, this is true. Unfortunately, he really has that. Him and his. Yeah, we're not even going to go down that path. We already know that it is a big conspiracy theorist there. Vanessa Kitty, sensationalism is all it is. Folks love doom and gloom. Very few ever been in a position to close to death. True enough. PA Bruno's. I never watch the news because it would just piss me off, and that basically goes for any topic. You're not wrong there. You're really not wrong there. Spending the day with 40 llamas, ducks, geese, peacocks, heaven, and hardly any people. So that works beautifully. Uh, and my in-laws in okay, so you're at your in-laws in Georgia. Okay, great peaches down there, by the way. I know it's stereotypical, but you guys have some awesome peaches in Georgia. Oh, and they cut my pay by 10%, froze all my benefits to help save the company money since they're losing money with since we're not moving so much profit and they're not giving us it back. So what happens if you get sick? That sucks. That really sucks. Vanessa Kitty, as a huge gatherings happen, look at all the hospitalizations. Yes, let's look at Florida for example. Ah, well, we always look at Florida for a good chuckle every now and then, but now it's just kind of being a little fearful. P. Bruno, sorry if my speech sounds weird. I am using voice to text. No worries. I usually can't read anyway, so we're good. Collected more duck eggs. Woo, duck eggs are good. So, anyways, yes, as I was saying, we got a lot of stuff going on. For me, it's end user support. I work in IT. So I try and make sure that when someone comes in, is like, oh, I want to get this done. I'm like, okay, you stay your 6 feet away from me. I've got a room for you. Y'all put the stuff in there. You go in there after I leave, and we'll swap out that way. We'll communicate. It's okay. I've got one guy that I have to swap over his laptop, and I've set up, since there's nobody in meeting rooms, this makes it so awesome. There's nobody in meeting rooms, so I've set up the meeting room so we actually can do this 6 feet apart in a giant meeting room, and we don't have to deal, and we are socially isolated, or we are mandated 6 feet apart, 2 meters for anyone else, that we actually get to deal with this, um, which is awesome. They've also been doing stuff like deep cleaning our office, so now I have to tell people where I've been, including the washroom, and just sort of let them know this is where I've been. If you need to resanitize, here's the places I've been. Um, Gloves on, masks. I've also got the hand sanitizer. I've also got hand cream because this bloody thing is drying me out worse than the winters. Um, it's been it's been really really insane for what we do. It's something we do, and we get a lot of like. I don't mind doing what I do because I've done this for so many years. So this is something that it's like, okay, well, technically we've built up for this throughout the jobs I've had. We've had where it comes down to what happens if we have to work at home or what happens if we have to do this. It finally came around 20 years later being in this business where we actually have to work from home. We have to social isolate. We have to be careful. We have to do all this other stuff. And it's crazy. And it's kind of, it's scary. It's like, I don't know. A lot of people have this thing, and as long as people are playing it safe, then great, awesome. We can do this. That makes a lot of that helps out a lot. I'm gonna go back to the comments here. They gathered at the Michigan State Capitol with freaking guns. I saw a picture of that. And gridlock traffic, which blocks the entrance to the nearby hospital. I saw a bunch of that actually, and that was stupid. It was so stupid that they did that. Vanessa Kitty, when you get sick and you end up with no income, no health insurance if you've had it. I don't have health insurance myself. I'm on contract, so if I get sick, I get sick. And then it comes out of my wallet, which sucks. Other companies are getting hazard pay for working through this. We're getting 10% pay, less pay. Yeah, I don't understand that because our government has actually mandated that frontline workers actually get an increase of like $2 an hour, I think it is, or so much an hour because they're actually doing their job and they have to do it, so they actually get an increase. Your company's kind of screwed up. I'm sorry, but it is. My brothers are truckers, so no masks or anything issued. BS. That's a tough part. They're also probably, are they contract or are they actually employees? Because there's usually differences between contractors and employees. For me, I'm a contractor. They still take care of us. But for example, I don't get an ergonomic assessment at home. I don't get a certain amount of money that I get to spend to buy a chair because I'm working at home because ergonomics is huge in my business and my work. I have to do it through through my company because I'm a contractor. I don't get those benefits. Um, my brothers are a Fortune 500 company better be forced to provide the personal protection, and it's true. They should. That's absolutely true. We all had to get over our own. We all had to get our own masks. See, this is the thing. Like, people are having to buy their own stuff. You know, if I knew how to stitch and sew, I would be making my own just so I didn't have to deal with this shit. I'm thinking I may just start offering homeschooling math classes. That would be pretty cool, in all honesty. Uh, there's that's the tough part about that is a lot of the teachers up here, they're doing online teaching. Like my youngest daughter is doing school online. I don't know about down there, but they're doing it online up here, and that they're continuing their education that way. I mean, offer if you can offer services to, let's say, a school to say, hey, I can help out. That'd be great. Here in Alberta, they went and laid off a whole shit ton of teachers and facility members and everything else like that because they couldn't afford it. But there's still teachers that are doing their schooling online, so they're still safe. But it's been tough. Healthcare is a fortune. I have 4 health plans. It's not enough. That's how. If we have one, we have to. We yeah. Um, One works out of the Texas and one works here. We rent a basement apartment from him and his wife. Okay, all right. Wow, that's a long way to do things. But I mean, they're still classed as essential workers, so they are still working. And I applaud no matter what. I applaud that they're not backing down. They're still working. So I want My Little Pony mask. You know what? I wouldn't be offended to that. I would have one too, but that's just me. I actually saw one where it was, I can't remember what it was, but I was like, ooh, I would like that. That's kind of cool. This is like a space themed one or something. So yeah, um, I was going to segue to something else, but I'm going to continue on with one thing here that I have, you know, for people that are understanding, we have the Stampede up here, so the Calgary Stampede is a big deal. They have not canceled yet, but I can see them happening to cancel soon. So everything gets pushed back a little bit at a time. Um, I just I just think that there's a lot of people that are starting to cancel stuff like our Calgary Expo, the big expo that we have, Comic and Entertainment Expo, finally announced yesterday that they are canceling. They're fully canceling everything after pushing it back to July. And now they're canceling everything. The Stampede is still in July and it was before the Calgary Expo. So it's only a matter of time before the Stampede gets canceled as well. They just canceled the princess competition for the Stampede, so I'm sure that within a day or so you'll see that the Calgary Stampede is going to be canceled. Um, Pardon me. As well, one of my favorite places closed down permanently because of what's going on as well. There's a place here called Midtown Kitchen and Bar, and they had been doing a lot for the local brewery scene, helping people out by using their taps to serve local beers, having cask wars between two local breweries, and then having a and then having like a best of 16, best of 8, best of 4, and then the finals. Um, they also introduced, like for example, a brewery out of BC came and had a tap takeover there, Twin Sales, and Twin Sales met up with Dandy here in Calgary, and they had a collaboration that they did while they're doing the tap takeover. There was a lot of things that this place had going on for them, and 6 years was a long time for them to be open. And unfortunately, they had closed down because they couldn't afford it, because their landlords were dicks, and because they weren't really getting enough financial support to stay open when they couldn't afford to do it. And we're going to see a lot more of this happen across the board, across the world. We're going to see a lot of places close over the next little while, and it's going to be absolutely insane to see this. As this carries on, you're going to see more and more stuff get canceled, get closed, have to shut their doors. I mean, it's going to be one of those ones where I don't want to see this, but at the same point in time, we may not have a choice. It's really, really tough to go and see what's happening and see how it's affecting a lot of people. People have been kicked out of their places because they can't afford rent, because they can't afford to get the amount of stuff or the kickbacks. The COVID kickbacks is what we're calling it here, where they get $2,000 a month to because of the COVID because they've been unemployed. Um, it's it seems like it's a lot for $2,000, but at the same point in time, you have that over a series of 4, 5, 6, 7 months, however long they have this for. They're not taking taxes off you, so that $2,000, at least $400 to $600 of that will have to go into taxes when it's tax time. So people are going to have to pay that back, and it's going to be brutal. This is not a tax-free thing. They want their money back somehow. Um, there's just it's I've never seen the world in a state of emergency like this, and it's something that, for example, Shibi will be able to tell his child about this is what you were experiencing when you were born. You caused the pandemic because you were born. I don't know. It is going to be absolutely just gobsmackingly brutal. It's at the end of this, when we all get out of it, I'm sure we're all gonna sit down at a pub, bar, restaurant, field, picnic, whatever, and go, "Oh, hey, that's what you look like." Um, there's gonna be a spike in salon appointments, nail appointments, tanning studios, everything else like that. As long as people can afford it, it'll start to go up slowly, which will bring everybody back to a certain norm. We have it where we have to go up and down aisles certain ways in grocery stores or wait outside. I have never, I had to go out to a few places over the weekend since I'm the only one that can do it, and I've never, ever, ever had to wait in lineups as many times as I did, and that's not coming from someone who actually went to Disneyland way back in the day. It's been a learning curve for a lot of us, and I'm so glad that a lot of us, the majority of us, is actually coming around to understand that this is something that we really need to take care of to have it calm down. Um, we're not out of the woods of this. There's no way. People are like, oh, we'll by May, we'll be done. No. We'll be lucky if we'll be able to go to the beach in June, July, maybe August. We were planning a vacation. That's been canceled. My mom and my brother and my nephew are planning to come out here in late May. That's definitely going to be looking like it's going to be postponed. Um, yeah, there's a lot of things that we all have to deal with. She was born on a day of darkness, just before the government mishandled the response to a global plague. Sounds like the prologue of a young adult. I like that actually. You know, you should start writing things down. Just watch for head spinning, okay? That's all I really ask. Just watch for that head spin. Um, but yeah, in all honesty, we're all in this together. We've got a lot happening. We've got a lot going on, and I know there's a lot of different feelings, different, um, different emotions going on. I've had my days. I really have. Today is not a good day for me overall, because it's Earth Day. All right, okay, so it's not quite, well, it is Earth Day, but at the same point in time, it was also my father's birthday today. So, come around 5 o'clock, this is getting opened up, and I'm going to be having a sip. So that's my day. Um, it's I that's one thing I always like. That's one thing that's gonna be sort of I'm gonna be wondering about. What would my father have said about this? He would have been like, yeah, okay, this works, I guess. But at the same point in time, he'd be in a mild panic because he was a little bit of a germaphobe too. So this would have thrown him off the edge. And if he was still alive today and he still had cancer, he's immune compromised, which would have really just sort of that wouldn't have that wouldn't have worked for him. And if he had to go to the hospital or anything else like that, like the people that have to go to the hospital, you can't have family visit because that's a bad thing. You're not allowed having people come visit you. Um, so yeah, it's no matter what, this is all a weird kind of thing going on. Um, I don't think we'll ever get used to it. Thanks, Shibby. I'll drink I'll drink the seltzer today, right now. Um, it's there's a lot that we have come this way. Um, we'll get through it. We really will. Uh, don't for the people out there, don't all of a sudden decide that if the curve is going down, that it's okay, because it's not. Because that curve can spike back up again. They're already saying that there's repeat cases going on in Japan and China now, that they're going back up again, or they're having a second round. Um, it's not a flu. It's not gonna. last through flu season, then die off. It's more than a flu. So it's what I consider. I'm socially isolated. Whatever. I've got my internet. I've got my wife with me. We spend time together. We do all this stuff, and I come down here, and every now and then I'll play games with friends or anything else like that. By the way, Shibby, I've got your email. I haven't replied to it. I'm really sorry. I like the idea, but trying to find the time, as sure you would know, it's not easy. Um, so Vanessa says, gives me more time to build more leather goods, more reading math journals, and I'm 150 games from reaching 6,000 games played in Microsoft Free Cell. Jeez, that's insane. I like it. I like it. That's some good accomplishments right there. For me, I sat down and I finished Little Big Planet 3 with my youngest daughter. We spent 3 years on that game. We finally finished it. I've learnt Carcassonne, or Casserole is what I call it, online, and that's been a fun game to play against friends. And I've become this kind of person that, yeah, I've learned how to play it because this guy kept doing stuff with me, and it's like, you know what? Let's do this back to you, see what happens. And it's, you become kind of like it becomes kind of a dick move. It's for some of the stuff, but it's a lot of fun to play. Um, Immune compromised since 1987. One of my viruses and bacterias. Hopefully this one passes me by. I hope so too. I'm silver. I'm a silver grandmaster level 5, I think. Oh, cool. So yeah, I've I don't know, guys. Like, I would love to say that we're all doing okay. We can call it okay, and it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to call out to people, have video chats. I mean, I've talked with my mom more. I've talked with my brother more to see how they're doing. Uh, my poor brother is, unfortunately, he's one of the guys that has to have something stalled because he can't go and do it because he just got the um, he just got his teeth removed because he's going to get dentures, and he can't get dentures right now because he was supposed to get that 3 weeks ago, but because it's not an emergency, he can't get it. My daughter, she popped one of her lenses out of her glasses. She can't get new glasses or can't get it fixed because it's not an emergency. Uh, like, there's all sorts of different things that aren't an emergency right now that you can't get done. Um, I had one other thought as well with that, but I just can't remember what it is. But yeah, like, it's wild. Right, that was the other one. There was supposed to be a court case for the guy that was caught with my dad's van that was stolen. They actually caught the guy, or caught the guy with the van. Whether or not it was him or not, it's tough to say. But that court case has been delayed or thrown out right now because there's no court. And I would have loved to seen what his thoughts were on that. So again, not a good thing. Victoria, they've released all the lower offenders so that they um, didn't get ill in jail. Should have left them in there. But that's just me. Can't get glasses fixed. No, you can't get glasses fixed. I called, and if it's not she is not classed as someone who needs glasses on a permanent basis. She only has readers for her reading or for her computer or anything else like that, but she still needs it. But yeah, one of her lenses popped out, and they said it's not an emergency, so we can't, we won't allow it. So yeah, it's well. See, now for that you might be able to get your new glass because it's classed as an up. Well, making sure you get glasses that work for you if you need them full time. She doesn't need them full time per se, but getting close to. But at this point in time, it's not an emergency. There's yeah, there's Oh, nice. Backyard trebuchet. I sorry. To come, we are going to have neighbor lobbing tennis balls. Nice. Can you super glue the lens in frame or red lock little? No, I don't. In all honesty, I don't want to mess with it. It's free to get them fixed. She's okay for now, and if it comes down to it, we'll start bugging them a lot more, which is fair. We understood. Like it was, I totally understand that we like our malls are completely shut down. They're in the mall, so they're not really doing much anyways. So they're not allowed to do much, and it was only through certain hours. Um, So I mean, if it comes down to it, she's doing more schoolwork, she's on the computer more. It might be coming down to an emergency situation where she needs her glasses because she's looking at her screen. And if it comes down where her eyesight gets really bad because of this, we might be having some words. But that's just me. Again, I understand what's going on. I'm just, you know, it happens. Shit happens. So yeah, unfortunately, I've got a couple more minutes before I actually do have to get back to work here. I gotta walk a whole 7 feet over to my laptop to get back to work. I know it's a long walk. I may not make it, so if I don't, please understand. I'll try to be back on when I can after I survive getting to my next location to work. Um, I actually chose today to stay home. Tomorrow I get to go in and deal with more people. The good thing is I get to choose this. I'm the only one that will be willing to go to work because others are like, well, I can't do that because I live with my 80-year-old mom. Understandable. I can't do this because I don't want to. I don't feel safe. Understandable. I'll do it because I don't know why. Why am I doing? Right. I'm on contract and I want to look good. That's why. Uh, but guys, I want to say thank you for joining. This has been really awesome. I'm sorry that I do have to cut this a little short. Again, do stay safe out there. Do please stay safe out there. I've got some more videos of reviews coming up. I've got a lot of beer reviews that I've got backlogged that I'm going to be doing. I've got a video that I want to put together eventually of my trip in Victoria back in March, where I just did a little bit of this. Here's little spots like I did with the other stuff. And yeah, from there, we'll try and see what happens. But again, thank you for joining. I think I might do more of this over a lunch hour or two, just to check in, see how everyone's doing. And you know what? In all honesty, I hope everyone's safe. Please be safe out there. They're saying that drinking alcohol now can lower your immunity system towards this. I'm screwed. No, I'm just kidding. I'll be okay. Till next time, folks, I am PK. I want to say thank you for joining. You guys have been a wonderful crowd. All four of you that were stuck around, three, four, bouncing back and forth. I will talk to you later. Enjoy the rest of the day. By all means, leave comments after this goes up again for replay. I will answer whatever comments I can, and we'll talk to you real soon. Cheers, and do please stay safe and stay frosty. I'm just going to leave this for 5 seconds because my other one just doesn't like to do this and doesn't like to stay things. But cheers. Come on. Ah, you stupid.